Let's talk about Alien Romulus and what could potentially be next, because we have just gotten word from 20th Century Studios head Steve Asbell that there is indeed a follow-up to Alien Romulus that is actively being discussed. So before we get into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We are on the road to Halloween, 7 days away, and we will have a giveaway that will be announced on Halloween Day. So don't miss out on that by making sure you follow us on Instagram as well as subscribed here. But let's talk about the Alien Romulus sequel, what that could look like, and who's coming back. So before we get into the things that Asbell said, let's talk about what exactly happened in Alien Romulus, where we saw a new crew trying to escape their doomed future, as they didn't want to be just workers as their family was. They were trying to go to a new planet, Ivaga. That was the name of the planet they were going to. Now, Rain and Andy were pretty much together this whole time, Rain being an orphan minor and Andy being an android that was programmed by Rain's late father and was sort of like her brother of sorts. So by the end of the first Alien Romulus film, we saw that Andy and Rain were the only survivors left, and they were on the way to Ivaga. And so we saw them having to come face to face with the xenomorphs as well as the black goo from the engineers. And so there's a ton of things now in motion in play here, because one of the things that was very amazing about Alien Romulus, in my opinion, was that hybrid we saw at the end. And pretty much the hybrid's gone, or so we think it could be gone, or could there be something else on the ship? So before we get into those theories and all of that, let's go into what Asbell said to the Hollywood Reporter when they sat down to talk about what's next. So Asbell said, "We're working on a sequel idea now. We haven't quite closed our deal with Fede Álvarez, but we are going to, and he has an idea that we're working on." He goes on to say, "The two survivors, Rain and Andy, played by Cailee Spaeny and David Jonsson, were real highlights of the film. And so I always think of it like, wow, where do people want to see them go next? We know there's going to be aliens. We know there's going to be great horror set pieces, but I fell in love with both of them and I want to see what their story is." So we're definitely excited about all of this for sure, and what the possibilities could be. So I already did an ending explain if you want to go check that out and go over all of the details of Alien Romulus and all of that. But I did also always want to make a theory video of what we could possibly see happen next. So as we know, this film takes place sort of in the middle of Alien and Aliens, as it has already been stated numerous times by Álvarez. Now, I think that what Álvarez was doing here with the hybrids at the end of the film is an interesting premise to have, and one that I could definitely see be great in a future film. And I think one of the things we have to think about is there's two possibilities that the film can go here, right? Either we are in the cryostasis of the whole like trip to Ivaga and they're going there and we see something pop up there and they have to battle it on the ship, or they could end up going to Ivaga and it's not really the plan they thought. So with the first scenario, I think that is definitely a very interesting one, but it would kind of feel repetitive to the first film if they're just stuck on a ship, right? And so albeit that could definitely pose a first great act if we see something like that. Maybe then they crash land on another planet or Ivaga, but I think that we definitely would want to start off fresh, right? We want to see this sort of sense of they're okay now, right? But then we ultimately would get to see like everything just descent into chaos. So one of the other things I was thinking is that if we see them go to the planet and we still have a distress signal or something from Weyland being sent out by Rook right before everything happened to go out and get Rain and also get Andy, that could definitely be another possibility. We haven't seen much of the horrors of the Weyland company in itself as opposed to the xenomorph, that I think that would definitely be something to see in this next movie and could feel a little bit different. What other creations are going on that we haven't really gotten like a chance to tap into? Because albeit, yes, the xenomorph is classic, it is that monster that defines the franchise and all of that, but I'm very curious to see even more of it. And I think just from Romulus giving us that hybrid, I see the possibilities are endless now, and I would definitely be open to seeing what else they can cook up here. Now, knowing Fede Álvarez, I think that there's something in there as well, because that third act just felt like it was him just having fun, and I definitely want to see what he's able to do if he has more reins now, right? So I'm open to that idea for sure. And the whole thing about Andy and also Rain returning as characters is so great to see, sort of like their whole like dynamic be fleshed out even more, because I think that they had such an amazing chemistry together and everything about their story just clicks so well for me. Definitely excited to see what the possibilities will be, and we're Fede Álvarez wants to take the new Alien Romulus film, and we'll go into some theories, especially with Alien Resurrection, Alien 3, and all of these other films that come after, so stay tuned for that. What exactly could we see from the new Alien franchise? I will make a video on that probably in the next couple of weeks, so very excited about that. But of course, a movie that cost $80 million to make and went on to gross over $350.8 million was definitely going to be one of those movies we're going to see get a sequel. But let me know what you think about the Alien Romulus film getting a sequel. Did you enjoy that film? Did you not? Are you excited? What would you love to see be sort of in the new one? Like I've said before, I know a lot of people feel some sort of way about the movie. They felt like it was just a rehash of all the other Alien films and not really doing anything different. To that I say, of course, they need to go in a way where it's safe. They need to do things that people will sort of have nostalgia for, whether you rolled your eyes at it or not. A lot of people did like it, and I also think that in the third act, we got to showcase what the possibilities of the franchise can be. And, you know, they've also said that they're open to doing an Alien vs. Predator film, but that's for a whole other video. We're also going to be discussing the 2 new Predator films that are coming next year. Yes, 2 Predator films in a year. We'll discuss that in the next video, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, let me know what you think about Alien Romulus getting a sequel and if you're excited or not, and stay tuned for more on all things you love. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 35,000 subscribers. We're less than 1,000 from that. We're trying to get to that before the end of the month. That's in a week. I think that we can if we push hard enough, but let's see if we can do it by Halloween day. We are doing a giveaway and we have that over on our Instagram, so go check out our Instagram and make sure you're following us there for the giveaway announcement. And yeah, let me know what you think. And as always, that's gonna do it for me. Alien Romulus sequel, do we want it? Do we not? What do you think about it? Cailee Spaeny, David Jonsson returning. Fede Álvarez is in talks to return. Would you watch the film if somebody else directed it instead of Fede Álvarez? I'm kind of interested in seeing what somebody else would do, especially a younger filmmaker. But at the end of the day, I'm still excited to see what Fede Álvarez does want to do with this story, because I feel like Fede was just barely starting to get into what he was really trying to showcase with the Alien films in that third act. So give him one more chance, let him have the reins like I said, and go full force. But anyways, I'll see all of you next time. As always, stay safe, stay positive.